So hello and welcome to another episode of the Two-Fiddy. Here we are, beginning of the second month of this quest of mine to watch all 250 films on the IMDB top 250 films list. Still at the beginning of this whole thing. It was also just pointed out to me that this is going to take about 5 years to do at this one film a week pace. So I didn't realize that for some reason going in. Today's film, 1950 something. What was it? 1952 American Western classic. High Noon. It's another film on the list that I've not seen. Westerns. I don't know. Do I like Westerns? Sort of. Won a couple of Academy Awards. Gary Cooper, Best Actor, Best Film Editing, Best Score, I think it was. I'm going to watch the film. I'll be back after it with all my thoughts on it and ranking it in my Two-Fiddy list. So, see you then. Alright, so, High Noon, just finished watching it. The film starts quite simply like Will Kane, Gary Cooper, he's getting married to this woman, he's the marshal, he's getting married, he's going off on his honeymoon, he's leaving the job behind, the new marshal shows up the next day. So there's just going to be a day without a marshal, basically. There's a deputy marshal who's played by Lloyd Bridges. I only know Lloyd Bridges as, like, a funny old man from films like Airplane and stuff. And then he's here in, like, a serious role, and he was looking quite good, like, back in the day, you know, like 25, 26 years old or something around then. Great head of hair. His eyes, I never noticed this, really close together. It's like they're trying to have a meeting. Will's on his way out when he finds out that Frank Miller's gang has gone and asked about the noon train. The guy at the train station goes into town, tells everybody this, and he's got a telegram saying Frank Miller's coming back into town. Will finds this out. Then there's this thing of, like, Will feels responsible because he's the one that sent Frank Miller away. Apparently, we learn, you know, he's made this town pretty good. Like, it was a place that someone says in the film, like, you couldn't raise children in before Will became marshal, which then makes it a bit confusing because later in the film when Will is trying to go get help, he's trying to deputize some people to help him so he's not the only one facing down this gang. No one wants to help him? Like, it's a town full of ingrates? For the better part of an hour, it was Gary Cooper walking around town trying to enlist help. It all sort of builds up to, you know, boom, High Noon finally hits. The train shows up right on schedule. Like, better than TfL rail service, definitely. Frank Miller gets off the train, instantly takes his jacket off, gets his guns from his buddies, and just rides into town to kill Gary Cooper. Then it finally sort of turns into what a typical Western is, a bit of a shootout in town, running around, horses, all the whole shebang. It was interesting. It was well done. I'd watch it again. Just showing Will Kane broken and beaten, and like you keep thinking someone's gonna step up and help this guy, right? And it just never happens. And it finally gets to a point where we see our hero like just with his hands and his head down in him, and you sort of think, is he crying? Because like, when do you see that in a Western? Normally the heroes in Westerns are like these superhuman characters who like could take a few bullets and get roughed up and still be the hero at the end of the day. And you sort of think, I don't think he's going to make it. And, you know, watch the film to sort of see what happens. It's a good little finale. So ranking-wise, this is going to be tough. Okay. I think there are things working for this film and things working against it. Like I said, it's a different sort of tale than I expected it to tell, and I think that's a positive. But at the same time, some of the plot points like didn't add up to me. Like why is he apparently like the best marshal this town's ever had, yet not one person stands up for him? I don't know if I was let down by Frank Miller, but like he's built up this whole film as like, oh my god, he's like the walking embodiment of death. And then he gets off a train and doesn't really do much. Doesn't even look that menacing. Like, again, Lee Van Cleef. He could have been Frank Miller. I gotta double check the old rankings. You know what, I'm going to put High Noon, I'm going to put it in, I think what I'm going to do is put High Noon into my new number 4 slot. So just above Login, Once Upon a Time in India, and just below In the Mood for Love. You get how this works. All these films are going to be entertaining and good, like, for the most part, until I get to The Godfather. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time on the Two-Fiddy. Hey guys, thanks again for watching another episode of the Two-Fiddy. You can watch the last episode, which was Beauty and the Beast, by clicking right there somewhere. And you can watch some of the other videos we've got on Filmageddon's YouTube channel, such as this one, which I don't know what it is at the minute, but I'm going to edit it in, and you'll be able to click on it and watch it. And as always, please subscribe. We want subscribers. The more we've got, the better it is for everybody. Mostly for us. We're the ones that gain out of it. But then we're going to entertain you more with more videos. So, thanks.